A couple years ago, I was losing plants left to right over dry indoor air. Brown leaves, crispy edges, sound familiar? Today I'm going to share with you the 3 humidity secrets that completely transform my apartment into the lush urban jungle you see behind me.
This is what proper humidity looks like in a city apartment. Glossy leaves, explosive new growth, plants that actually thrive, not just survive. These 3 secrets turn my dying tropicals into this lush paradise without turning my home into a greenhouse.
Let me show you exactly what I was dealing with. My Monstera Thai Constellation up there, its leaves were constantly browning. Then there's my giant king Anthurium up there. Its leaves, without humidity, would curl up, dry up, and just die out, as well as attract plant pests. So my philodendron, those plants just stopped growing altogether. Like my philodendron patriciae, that plant was on the struggle bus for a while. Keep in mind, the average apartment has a humidity level of around 30 to 40%, but at bare minimum, a lot of these tropical plants need 50 to 60% humidity to thrive and actually grow into the beautiful plants we want them to be. Humidity is crucial. I mean, so crucial to maintaining a healthy and happy environment in your urban jungle, especially when it comes to your tropical plants that rely so heavily on great humidity. Now, here in Denver, Colorado, I'm in the Rocky Mountains, which is high in elevation. They call it the Mile High City for a reason, because it's 5,280 feet above sea level. And because of that, it's pretty dry here. So my urban jungle can be really dry, unless, of course, I supplement that with humidifiers, which I do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 humidifiers running consistently. Now, the 2 major ones is this one right here, my Vivo Sun. It's a 20-gallon humidifier. And then over there, I have another one that is 19 gallons. I go with that large of a size because of my collection being so large, 150 plants. So you need a lot of humidity in that instance. And so you have to keep in mind, tropical plants are from rainforests, right? Mostly, a lot of these are from South America, like Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, Ecuador, those places. So they're used to having high humidity. And what is so important about that is that if you don't give these plants high humidity, then their leaves will start to brown and they will just get stressed, and it's just not a good situation. Basically, you can't have an urban jungle with those tropical plants that you love and want in your collection so much unless you have humidity. The major reason why I love humidifiers, not only because it keeps the plants thriving, but because it means that I don't have to water my plants as much. Now, that might seem silly, even during the summer months when, the summer sun is drying out those plants so quickly. I'll tell you this, because I have my humidifiers going nonstop, and I do have them on low during the day, which would be exactly how it's replicated in the tropical rainforest, and I have them on high at night, like it would be in the tropical rainforest. But there are several of these plants that I have gone weeks, sometimes a month, without watering. Like my King Anthurium, for instance. I just got done repotting that baby, and you can watch that video up in the corner if you'd like. But that was 2 weeks ago, and I haven't watered the plant since then. And when I did water it after repotting it, I didn't give it a full watering. I gave it kind of like a half watering, and so it is still thriving over there. It does need a good watering, but the humidifiers have been helping me out in that instance. The one thing that is frustrating in this instance is that these huge humidifiers, all of my humidifiers, I need to fill them up with filtered or distilled water. Simply because a lot of my rare plants that are in my urban jungle are plants like Anthurium, like my Anthurium magnificum here, or Alocasia, and other plants that are, just very exotic. And the thing with these plants, like Calathea as well, is that they can't have water from the tap, sink water. And that's because the chemicals in our sink and tap water just don't bode well with them. And what happens is, you ever notice, like on alocasia or anthurium for that matter, how you get those like brown and yellow speckled gross spots all over it? And on Calathea, like prayer plants, you'll see what looks like burning on the leaves. That's simply because of tap water, most of the time at least. A lot of folks don't understand that you shouldn't be watering them with tap water, and that's why their foliage will get discolored. And so, same rings true with humidifiers. So, if you have humidifiers next to these plants, which clearly I do, you need to make sure to put in filtered or distilled water. Simply because when all of those water molecules are coming out, they'll latch on and sit on those leaves, and they'll cause the same exact effect. So, yeah, that's why it's a pain in the butt having to fill up all these humidifiers with filtered and distilled water. One other thing about cleaning off Anthurium leaves with filtered water is that you want to use a microfiber cloth. That's because those heartleaf ones that are so velvety and beautiful are so sensitive. And so you need to use something soft. Microfiber cloth is the way to go. So, need to tell you this also about humidifiers is that you need to make sure that they are cleaned consistently, because if not, then bacteria and all that stuff can grow on the inside. Then you just kind of be shooting that out all over your plants, which is something you don't want to do. Airflow is crucial for so many reasons. Not only does it help keep the plants super healthy and thriving, but also it prevents mold and mildew from growing on your plants, and especially in your home and on your furniture. That's why it's important to have good air circulation around your humidifiers. I have little mini fans and other different circulating devices around mine just to make sure this issue doesn't appear. And that's how I keep my Queen Anthurium at 90% at nights while the temperatures stay cool and it doesn't disrupt the rest of the home, which would just be a disaster. So when it comes down to really cool devices, hygrometers are the way to go. I like this one from Baldertherm. I use it often. I have a couple of them in my home. They monitor the humidity levels as well as the temperature. And what's nice is that it's also solar powered. I have dozens of these little things. I get them off of Amazon for like 7 for $6.99, 6 for $7.99, or $6.99, whatever the price is there. Super cheap, but great. You can put them anywhere in your home, and I just like to have them around. But my favorite devices are the ones that are Bluetooth operated. Now I have a couple of these. I like Govi's brand, and that is a really great brand because it allows me to constantly monitor what my humidity levels are for certain plants like the Queen Anthurium as well as others, and I can constantly update and check in on them, which is so important to me as a plant parent. And like I said, the humidifiers that I use, well, I put them down in the video description below just so you can take a look for yourselves. But I'm curious to know, what sort of humidifiers and humidity levels are you folks dealing with in your home? Because when I asked you folks in a recent poll on my YouTube community channel about humidity struggles, it was really interesting to see the results that you all had there. And 96 of you, or over 90 of you, weighed in. So I do appreciate when you guys take part in these polls and other stuff as well. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my plenty videos. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell for more fun and interesting planty content just like this. So, if humidity was really fascinating to you, I want you to check out this video in the corner because it has to do all about lighting. Grow lights, accent lights, how I go about lighting up my entire plant display to make sure that the plants not only pop and thrive and look great, but also that it brings them the nourishment that they need. I'll see you guys in the next video.